Oh, yeah. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live, man.
Yeah, we're live. Hello, guys. I'm Josue Crimz Rojano here with Kyle Pooka Sucevich, and we are about to start round 3 of the Top Cut Invitational.
Yes, sir. I mean, we've had some, let's be honest, they were not such a great game so far. We had Sammy Sakum kind of drop pass until he lost against Yamato.
So I've heard.
And then we had Jason Kozinski drop pass until he lost to JWittz.
So
But hopefully we'll have a good one here. We have a rematch from round 1, actually, between Josh Wittenkeller and Jay Hornung.
So Josh Wittenkeller and Jay Hornung did not play on camera, correct?
No.
They played on one of our off-camera matches, and Jay Hornung happened to get the best of them.
Yeah. Looked like Josh kind of drew past the first game. Seems to be a common theme today at our Top Gun Invitational, but hopefully this third game is a good one. It'll be a Darkrai mirror match. As far as I know, that's almost similar lists, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing this game for so long that this doesn't really surprise us to see so many games just be so irrelevant. But the reality of it is that these things happen, and they can happen for an extended period of time. So these two matches, it's unfortunate that we didn't get good, solid games in, but I do hope that we get to see Josh and Jay at their peak performance with some good, solid draws. In this mirror match, I'm sorry, my apologies, but
go ahead.
In this mirror match, I honestly think that anything can happen, and it doesn't. Going first doesn't actually matter as much as other matchups might.
I think a lot of people gave Josh flack for being in this tournament in the first place, but he did get a victory against our 3-time world champion. I think he knows what he's doing. He had a rough start the first game, and I'm excited to see him get the show off here. And we all know Jay Hornung is a great player.
Yeah, I'm still not even used to saying 3-time world champion.
3 times.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly the best player in the world, and he's one of the first ones out one more time.
All right, so looks like these guys are shuffling it up and getting ready to go. Josh would be on the right, and Jay will be on the left. Interesting note, we have the Darkrai mat on the left, not on the bubble mat on the right. The players on the right have lost both games so far.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's always been the Darkrai mat on the left?
Yep.
It's on the bubble, man.
I know.
It's
cursed.
They're not showing too much. They're not showing too highly with this Top Cut Invitational, apparently.
Yeah, we'll see if Josh ends up on the bubble or if Jay will be the one.
You actually said that. What a bad pun. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum.
Yeah.
I'm
all
loving
right.
it, apparently.
Yeah, both these guys, again, are playing Darkrai. We're having some technical difficulties. I'm not sure why it's just showing up on one side, but both guys are playing the same thing. Both actually playing Mr. Mime as well. That bench barrier ability blocks the 30 from Night Spear, so that actually makes this matchup go much longer.
Now, do they both play Absol?
I don't know if they both play Absol or not. I know Jason didn't, and Jay might have copied him or something. I don't know what Josh did either. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm not particularly sure that Absol would be such a key player because these decks don't tend to get large benches anyways.
Yeah. Sometimes Absol can come in handy, especially if you're forced to go with the Mr. Mime. It does take up that bench spot, makes Absol a little bit more of a viable attacker. But in general, yeah, it's just going to be Darkrai's Night Spearing back and forth.
Now, I know that Jay Hornung was seriously preparing very heavily for this Top Cut Invitational, which makes me wonder, how many people truly feel that Darkrai is the play now that they've seen how it does in such a large...
We're getting in an argument here. I don't know if you saw that. Jay is kind of rearranging cards in his deck there, and Josh is calling him out on it.
I did see that. I can't stop laughing. Yeah, apparently we will not allow declumping at the Top Cut Invitational.
Not allowed here.
So, I like how Josh just laid down the law, and none of that business. No shady business here.
These guys are friends. They've played each other before. They're both from the Midwest in the U.S., so they're familiar with each other. I know Josh doesn't have an extensive history with Pokemon. He started playing in 2009, but he did have a lot of success in the short time he was playing. So he knows exactly who Jay is. He's played against him, and he's not going to be intimidated or anything.
Exactly. Now, even though Josh is known as more of a personality, and he's not necessarily known as one of the top premier competitive players in the game, he absolutely can play the game, and he's shown it in the World Championships even, getting all the way to this round of 8.
Yeah, I mean, he made top 8 losing to Tom Dozel, who is, one of the game's legendary players.
I don't know, man. I mean, if you're going to lose to Tom Dozel, I don't know. Seriously, you can lose to anybody.
All right, so here we go. We're going to have a double Sableye. Who's going to go first? Looks like it'll be Josh.
All right, Josh starts things off. He has the ideal starter, in my humble opinion, with Sableye. So I would like to see him maybe potentially Ultra Ball here, discarding maybe a catcher, stuff like that. Just make the most use of his hand and take advantage of this junk hunt if possible.
I don't know. If he doesn't drop, it looks like Josh is going to double attach, taking after our 3-time world champion, Jason Kaczynski.
And that's a game lost.
And sorry, man, it's someone's going to have to go over by Josh and give him. All right.
Now, I do believe that we actually have our first result.
Yeah, I think Sammy dunked Yamato.
Sammy did indeed dunk Yamato. So does that mean that Yamato is actually out of the tournament?
Yeah.
So Yamato, our last Top Cut Invitational champion, one of the 2 most legendary players in the history of this game, it has been eliminated in the 3rd round.
It's unfortunate. But, we got a game here that we got to pay attention to still. So
I don't know. Yamato's out. I think I'm out of here. Have fun solo casting.
All right. So we're going to see if Josh actually has a supporter, because the player on the right really hasn't done that yet. We have an Ultra Ball for 2 Dark Energy, which is very strong. Turn 1, you want to get those in the discard for Dark Patch.
If we see a Dark Patch here, I'm just going to go nuts because that's the perfect start.
Yeah, getting 2 energy on board turn 1 is exactly what you want with this Darkrai deck. Get that turn 2 Night Spear. We'll see if he can follow this up. He's going to catch her out with Darkrai. That's a nice play. It could prevent Sableye from junk hunting if Jay doesn't have the correct cards to pull that off. And he's got a supporter.
And he's actually got an N. Wow.
We could see a real game.
Wow. I haven't actually been here to witness the other 2. I was busy doing other things with the TPCI people, but I came back here and all of a sudden we have good games.
Yeah.
See, I guess I'm our good luck charm here.
It wouldn't be a Top Cut Invitational without you, buddy.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I missed last year and it was the most heartbreaking experience having to sit back in the sidelines and watch it from my home. But at the same time, I enjoyed some incredible matches, and it was just, I'm telling you, I was jumping up and down constantly. It was like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. or whatever, and I'm just sitting there with my laptop in my hands, jumping up and down like a little schoolgirl. Good times, good memories.
All right, so obviously Josh has a really strong start here. We'll see if he can follow it up with a Dark Patch or something.
Yeah, Dark Patch is the ideal card here.
Hold on. Just look at Jay's hand. That is worth like $500. Look at his hand. It's all gold.
He even flashes it to the camera. He's like, hey, look.
All right, 500 might be a little exaggerating, but it's all full arts and
if
gold
he signs
Ultra
them,
Balls.
they go up to 500.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much. So Mr. Mime comes down, but I still don't see a Dark Patch.
Yeah.
He's probably just going to junk hunt for something like a Pokemon catcher and an Ultra Ball or something.
Yeah. Still not a bad turn. Dark Patch would have been the ideal start here. But, at least he had a supporter.
Yeah. We will see a full game as long as we start seeing some energies come down and ideally some dark patches.
And Mr. Mime, as we said earlier, could be a big deal in this matchup. So good that he got that done.
Jay did top deck an energy, so at least his Ultra Ball won't be too expensive.
Yeah. He's trying to figure out what the second card is to discard. He gets rid of the Ultra Ball. You don't really need to play more than 1 Ultra Ball.
And he did have an N in his hand, correct?
Yeah. Well, he's got like 5 supporters.
Yeah, I'm going to assume at least one of them's an N.
Yeah.
He has 5 Junipers in his hand.
I hope not. So
4 Junipers and a Bianca.
So he's going to grab a second Darkrai here, it looks like. And I think they're making fun of Jay's deck box because it's like all taped up and it's all ratty and old,
and
but all of his cards are full arts.
Oh, man.
Oh, all right. So he does decide to play the N. His other options were Chorus for 4, not a good option. Juniper, discard the other 4 supporters, not a very good option. So he's going to play the N. It might be a little reluctant since he knows Josh didn't have a Dark Patch, but you have to. You can't just discard all those supporters.
Yeah, absolutely. And he at least gets rid of the 2 cards that Josh happened to junk hunt for, which means you mitigate some of your opponent's last turn.
Yeah. I don't know how important those cards were for Josh, and an Ultra Ball and a catcher. Those cards aren't too relevant in Darkrai Mirror, but yeah, those are going to go back into his deck. So if they aren't too important, then maybe he'll draw them again. So who knows?
Fair enough, yeah. So we will see them both draw 6 cards because the game barely began, and neither of them has been able to take a prize yet.
Yeah, we're on turn 1.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's been turn 3. These guys take forever, says Josue.
It's the pot calling the kettle black there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see if Jay can pull off Dark Patch of his own this turn. Does not look like it. Looks like he's going to have a very similar turn to Josh.
Without the junk hunt.
Well, he's going to pull it off. I think he's got an energy switch.
Oh, he has an energy switch. All right. Well, at least he's going to be able to junk hunt for an energy switch and a catcher or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine him getting an Ultra Ball here.
But this actually looks very bad for Jay, who does not have a supporter in hand. So looks like he's going to junk hunt and then just maybe hope that Josh ends him.
Yeah, I'm sure he's hoping that his opponent will bail him out. It's not uncommon to see your opponent play an in after you junk hunt.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, without any real awesome targets that your opponent wants to get out of your hand, he might be reluctant to end here.
Yeah. All right, we're going to see a random receiver here. So this is actually going to be big. If he gets a Juniper, that's exactly what he wants, and
that's
there we
a Juniper.
go.
There we go.
I'm sure Jay was crossing his fingers for an end there, but it's random for a reason. It just flip over the top card of your deck until you get a supporter, and the one we got this time was a Juniper, so good for Josh, bad for Jay.
Yeah, I was about to make a joke, but it might be too soon. So I'm glad.
We already had that joke made by Pram earlier, so don't worry about it.
Of course it's Pram. Pram, never the one to hold back. Always says exactly what he's thinking.
Yeah, no ends here, so hopefully Jay doesn't discard his hand on accident. All right, so now we'll have to see where Josh goes from here. Still no Dark Patch played. He does have the 2 Dark in the discard pile, though, so at any point he could just kind of slam down a couple Dark Patches, get some extra energy in play. But I don't see a Night Spear happening this turn, but still Jay doesn't have anything.
Yeah, I mean, Josh's slow start does give Jay a couple of extra top deck outs, but without the ability to put any type of pressure on Josh to do anything, it's really Josh that has all of the momentum going for him, and he could just junk hunt away for several things while expanding his board.
All right, so here we see the first Hypnotoxic Laser after a catcher on the Darkrai, and it is a heads. It's going to be a sleep and poison. Very strong card. In the Darkrai mirror match, I think typically the first person to Night Spear an opponent's Darkrai is at a big advantage, getting the first 90 damage on there. So we'll see if Josh is able to pull that off or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the sleep flip, honestly, not that relevant. Jay wasn't going to be doing anything anyways. Yeah. But Josh doesn't know that yet. Yeah. So energy switch from the Mr. Mime onto the Darkrai, that's exactly what he probably wanted to do here. And Juniper is going to let him not only get a new hand at 7, but put a few more targets for the junk hunt in his discard pile.
Yeah, we saw an interesting decision from Josh. He could have just played the Juniper and hoped to get lucky, hit 2 Dark Patches and an energy switch maybe, but he decided to do the smart thing and just, retreat to Sableye, use the energy switch to move the energy from Mr. Mime to Darkrai, and just accept that you're going to junk hunt.
Yeah, it's a little on the conservative side, but that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing if you're playing the odds here.
Yeah. Oh, and look at that. He hit 2 Dark Patches. So it would have paid off if he took the risk, but that still doesn't mean he should have done it.
That Josh luck. That JWittz luck.
Hey, man, this might be his tournament. Who knows?
Yeah, it definitely could be, and he has the ability to win this tournament. I understand that a lot of people have written him off because he hasn't been playing at a high level recently, and that's understandable. I understand that there's a lot of people that just might say, well, why would we vote on, or rely on Josh to win when people like Jay Hornung, for example, who have been playing this game consistently for the last couple of years, could win. But the reality of it is that Josh is an extremely good player, and he's actually taken this invitational pretty seriously. Yeah. He's done some play testing for it, and he's excited about his deck choice.
We do see Jay stay asleep on the laser. Looks like he accidentally took 30. Good thing. It should only be 10. There's no Burbank City Gym in play.
Yeah, I thought I was missing something there for a second.
Nope. Next card was a Juniper, as Jay is showing us. He did not draw a supporter for the turn, so this is going to be a very pedestrian turn for him. He's just going to attach and pass. It's not looking good, but he's going to Ultra Ball for the Keldeo, so that should allow him to rush in and retreat to Sableye, get another junk hunt, even though there's not really anything he can grab that's worthwhile.
Yes.
So we're going to see an energy onto Keldeo. The rush in just kind of shoves Darkrai out of the way. Keldeo makes way, and then he can retreat for free thanks to Darkrai's Dark Cloak. It's got a Dark Energy attached, so he gets free retreat. And then we're going to see Sableye junk hunt to get 2 items back.
Did you like my professional commentary there, by the way?
Yeah.
When you asked me a question, I had to say, yes.
Yeah, thanks for that beautiful insight. I'm very happy to have you here. So we're going to see another junk hunt here from Sableye. I know you're loving this. Your favorite Pokemon is Sableye. But there's really no good targets for Jay to get, just a bunch of Ultra Balls, a catcher, and an energy switch. So
Jay's a magician, man. He'll make something he'll make something happen with these cards.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he managed to pull off something in the next few turns, but he really just doesn't have any resources right now, and this might be the third bad game we have in a row, but I'm hoping that Jay draws out of this at some point.
Would you not try to throw some salt in there?
Hey, I'm just saying, so far, Jay just has not had anything going. It's unfortunate, but it's part of Pokemon. It happens sometimes. But Josh definitely will use Night Spear this turn, and he's definitely going to be at the advantage.
Yeah. Honestly, there's no way that Josh is going to bail him out here. There's no reason for Josh to bail him out because Josh doesn't need anything anymore.
Yeah.
He's got his attacking Darkrai, which can obviously use Night Spear to not only knock out the Sableye and stop these Junk Hunt shenanigans, but really put a lot of pressure on these other Darkrai's, like we see here.
Yeah. So we
Josh
do see
is absolutely in the driver's seat.
Yeah. So we do see Josh take the first prize. He's going to knock out a Sableye. So now we're going to be 5 prizes to 6 here. And he's actually chosen to put the 30 damage on the Darkrai that already has damage. What do you think about that?
I'm okay with that. I believe that just puts him closer to being able to take a prize with something like a Dark Claw and a Hypnotoxic Laser. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Jay top decked a Darkrai, by the way. So that's why he's busy contemplating. He's not sure if he should retreat this Darkrai or really what to do here. And at the same time, he's bemoaning his luck, I guarantee that.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do here? Darkrai is generally one of the most consistent decks in the format. I mean, it can hit some hands where it just doesn't have anything to play with, but in general, it's just a pretty simple, straightforward deck with all basic Pokemon. So it's unfortunate to see this here.
Yeah, I kind of like this play here. He's going to sacrifice the Sableye in order to probably find, I'm going to assume, well, he's getting an energy switch, which I don't really understand since he's not going to have any energy.
He really just doesn't have anything. I don't know if I like going for the Junk Hunt there. I mean, obviously, whatever he does, he's going to be in trouble.
You have to like going for the Junk Hunt. At all times, you have to like going for the Junk Hunt. You can have the win on the board, and you still have to like going for the Junk Hunt.
Well, in that situation, I might consider a Confuse Ray, to be honest. That might be your best shot for buying some time here.
You mean Sableye has a second attack?
Yeah, it does 10 damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
No wonder I don't use it.
That might have been his best bet, to maybe buy some time, confuse the Darkrai. Maybe Josh would get defensive and just retreat and not want to risk the self-damage.
You never know. He could do that. He could just decide on Junk Hunting instead or something like that. But but no, he's not. And he didn't obviously confuse him. But the Sableye does go down. Jay is now out of Sableyes in play, and he's out of energy in play at the same time. Jay is looking at another energy switch.
That is brutal.
Darkrai comes down, and he's probably just going to pass here.
He's got a catcher in his hand. He might catcher out Mr. Mime to stall for time here. Maybe Josh won't have an energy to retreat or something like that.
Potentially, sure.
And we're going to have an Ultra Ball, getting rid of 2 energy switches.
Now, what that means is that if he does play Computer Search, it's no longer going to be a card that he wants to draw anymore.
True.
It does thin his deck by 1, but the Computer Search, which I believe we just saw, is no longer going to be a card that he's going to want to see.
Yeah, he is going to go for Mr. Mime here, so that'll block some bench damage. That actually is very useful in this situation.
Absolutely.
He can't afford to let those Night Spears build up damage. He's just going to, it's going to add up too quickly.
Yeah, they've already built up on this Darkrai, which is still not in very much danger, I don't believe, but he doesn't want to see any more shenanigans happen.
Yeah. It looks really bad for Jay, and obviously it is. But if he could top deck a supporter at some point, Josh just has 1 Darkrai. He does not have a second one powered up. He has no alternative attacker. If that 1 Darkrai does go down, Jay could make a big comeback. We have N, which could disrupt Josh's hand. And this game is not over. It looks really bad, but Jay could just top deck out of it at any point.
You remind me of that song, Mr. Brightside.
Yeah?
Because you're trying to see the light in this, but I'm telling you, man, there's no energy on Jay's side of the field. He would have to get a Juniper into like triple Dark Patch or something like that.
Now who's the negative Nancy?
Look, I'm just realistic, all right?
All right.
He actually would need triple Dark Patch and an energy. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it looks very, very, very bad. But stranger things have happened.
Have they?
Yeah.
Name one.
Hey, man, don't put me on the spot like this. I've seen some 6-1 comebacks before.
No, I'm just kidding. There is absolutely plenty of time left in this game. It's anything but over as long as Jay does top deck. It's on Jay to top deck here. If he doesn't, then obviously the game is over. But if he does, the game is still very much in anyone's hands.
Yeah. Josh did put down the Keldeo EX this turn for the rush in. Slams the Dark Energy down so he can retreat for free. Again, that's not another Darkrai, so he's not kind of advancing his board position, but maybe just this one Darkrai can go all the way and take all 6 prizes for him.
Yeah, now his bench is getting full, so if he ever wants to play another Darkrai, he's going to have to fill his bench, which really makes this potential Absol very dangerous. Oh, he slow rolls the Juniper. That's exactly what he needed. He could be right back in this game.
All right, we got a game, folks. We got a Juniper
I see
for
a bicycle, 7. A few cards he can actually discard, a Dark Claw. I just don't see any Dark Patches.
I just don't see any good cards, yeah.
Yeah, well, I see a bicycle, which, okay, fine. Not a good card.
He does have the Burbank City Gym, which is nice to get out there. Maybe some lasers will be a way to kind of build up some damage on Josh's Darkrai if he can't Night Spear in the near future. He did hit a Dark Patch as well.
Oh, he did hit a Dark Patch. All
right. He actually decided to attach to that Darkrai. What do you think about that?
I'm okay with that. This Darkrai is about to get knocked out. That other Darkrai is just as good as any of the other 2 on the bench.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe he could attach to Keldeo since he could rush in and maybe put up a different Darkrai to take a hit for this turn.
Is that really necessary since the Darkrai is more than likely going to get knocked out eventually anyways without, sure, you force your opponent a Pokemon catcher, but at the same time, you're really just not doing anything, and you're making your board that much more anemic because now you lose a second attacker as well that you won't be able to power up.
Yeah, maybe. It's difficult to tell. Jay is obviously in a tough spot no matter what, and we'll see.
Oh, he did actually.
He did play the Hypnotoxic Laser.
Yeah.
There's 30.
So at least there's 30 damage on the new Darkrai.
Yeah, so he's getting there slowly. Josh, it's got to be a little unnerving to see Jay top deck that Juniper. But
to be honest with you, Jay is actually not in a bad spot if Josh doesn't find another Darkrai soon. And by soon, I mean this turn.
Darkrai or Absol if he plays it. Both of those are going to be good here since Jay as well has filled his bench. Like you said, Absol normally is not extremely good in a Darkrai mirror because normally you don't fill your bench.
Yeah.
But both these players have done that here.
Yeah, they both played Keldeos down, which aren't really Pokemon that are used to seeing play in this type of matchup.
Well, they are just to get out of the Hypnotoxic Lasers. The poison is huge. You can't just let your Darkrai sit there and have 30 on it. But
I happen to have double Darkrai at all times, so I never have to rush in. I just retreat, and I never stay asleep either.
These guys aren't so fortunate.
I'm Pramalot.
Well, we'll see. Wow, Josh just Night Spears, and this could be very bad for him if Jay can, get an end this turn and a Night Spear.
Another Dark Patch. That's exactly what Jay wants to see.
Yep.
I believe I saw a Juniper in his hand, correct?
Yeah, he does have a random receiver as well. We'll see. He's going to go for the N, I think. Just Juniper right off the top, though.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
He's going to have to shuffle still.
Yeah, I would have liked to see an N here, but
I'm sure Jay would have too.
Either way, I'm sure that. Honestly, I feel very good for Jay here. I still feel like he's probably behind, but at the same time, he's got a puncher's chance.
If you think about it, Josh has played 2 Dark Patch already, so he's going to need like a really explosive turn to get another Darkrai out. He's going to lose this Darkrai battle because his is going to take the first hit, so he's really going to need to get a Darkrai down with an energy this turn at the very least. Otherwise, we could see him just, Jay could just come back and reverse in 6-0 with this Darkrai.
Yeah, we've been so busy bemoaning Jay's luck throughout the game that we forgot to really bemoan Josh's with him. Josh hasn't been getting the ideal boards or the ideal anything really for his deck, and he did get that early I wouldn't even call it early. He did get that Darkrai at some point in the game, but his game hasn't been progressing very well at all.
Not looking so bad for Jay now, huh?
I always had faith in the guy.
Okay.
I knew he was going to do well in this Invitational.
All right, so I think Josh has had a random receiver in his hand that he's been kind of waiting to play. Oh, he's actually going to go for the catcher on Keldeo. He might go for a laser and a Dark Claw, and that actually would win the game here if he can hit a Dark Claw to Night Spear for 110. There's the laser.
Tails doesn't matter quite as much, but he's still going to flip another time.
Yep, maybe he can get lucky and keep it asleep if he does miss the Dark Claw. Let's see.
He does have a random receiver, though, correct?
I think he has one in his hand. I'm not too sure. But if he can get the Dark Claw this turn, he will win the game. It'll be game over.
And Jay will be eliminated if this actually happens to happen.
Yeah.
So we're potentially on the verge of seeing an upset?
Yeah, I think this would be considered an upset. We do see Josh try to play a Dark Patch. There's no more Dark in his discard pile, so
he actually can't play it. So that's why the card goes back to his hand. He's not trying to reverse a misplay or anything
Yep.
like that.
We see an energy switch, though. He does get an energy on that Darkrai.
This makes me think that he's probably getting Juniper, or he already has a supporter in his hand.
Yeah, I think he might just have a ton of resources. He's going to go for the random receiver. You see the Dark Claw. He plays them. He gets an N off the random receiver, though.
Yeah,
That's
the N
not
is
the card
going
he
to be
wants.
probably the worst supporter he could have drawn, unless he plays something like Bianca, because I still feel like his hand is pretty large. But the N is definitely a really bad supporter, and it's only going to give him 2 shots at finding the Dark Claw. So now he's hoping that the Keldeo stays asleep.
Yeah, that's a card he might not even play, to be honest. Yep, there's a Juniper.
Oh,
Here we go.
He does have a Juniper.
Does
All
he
right.
hit the Dark Claw?
So he was just thinning his deck a little bit. That's very nice, very good play by Josh. What a lot of people consider a heads-up play.
Yep. Does he get it? This is going to be it.
Dark Claw, potentially. He's looking through his hand. He does not have it. There's no way he's got it.
Is he going to slow roll it?
He's not a slow roller. He's not a slow roller.
Looks like...
I'm sitting there saying he's not a slow roller, but still crossing my fingers he doesn't have it, so I don't look bad.
All right, we'll see if at the very least he can get an energy attachment, because he hasn't done that yet either. He just played the energy switch.
At the same time, it's been a relatively long turn, so he might have just assumed he played an energy because the energy is on the Darkrai.
Yeah, maybe he forgot. Looks like our judge...
Did the Pokemon stay asleep? Oh, okay, he hasn't rolled yet.
Yeah.
Flipped yet.
Here we go. This is a big flip,
Big
actually.
flip. Tails!
It's Tails, wow.
All right, Tails does mean that he stays asleep, and unless he has another Keldeo, that is going to mean that Keldeo is going to stay asleep and in the active position.
Yeah, he does have another one in his deck, and there's a computer search in his hand, so he'll be able to get out of this. But he played a random receiver, and actually he was trying to go for the N again, and he missed again. Now, I think he was hoping to computer search for the N, so he wouldn't have to worry about that. But now he has to computer search for the Keldeo, or he can computer search for N and hope to draw the Keldeo if he wants to be risky. But
that might actually be the play, considering the fact that he's got to do something major. He can't just let his opponent maintain this kind of a board presence.
Josh has a lot of cards in hand, yeah.
Exactly.
Looks like they're having some sort of dispute. I'm not sure what's going on, but we did see random receiver for the Juniper. I don't know. We'll have to see what Jay does here. But, Josh, I don't know if he just didn't have an energy or if he just forgot to attach one. I don't know what that was. He just energy switched. I think they tried to figure out if Jay may have accidentally discarded a supporter somewhere along the way. They're going to look through his discard pile. I don't think anything was wrong. I didn't see anything that went wrong here.
I didn't see anything either, but we are human, and we have human eyes.
Yeah. Well, he did have to discard a Juniper last turn. He discarded 2 at once.
Yes,
After that random receiver, I think.
Yes, he definitely had 2 Junipers in his hand.
Okay. So I don't know what they're doing here. We do have some expert judges on hand. We have Doug Morrisoli, our head judge for the 2nd year in a row. He's a fantastic judge. He keeps these guys in line. We also have experienced players like Kyle Sablehouse. He's judging. And just a lot of people volunteered. Very grateful for that. So these guys, they're paying close attention to the game. They know what's going on at all times. So
that's one thing we can definitely be thankful for. The community is very much grateful for the Top Cut Invitational, and we're grateful for their help, and we really appreciate everything that the community has done to really gather together and help make this Invitational a success. So we are actually debating with the head judges. We're debating with the head judges to see if there's any type of miscommunication error. But it looks like everything got handled, and we're going to be able to continue the game.
Yeah, it turns out there's no problem. They thought maybe Jay had accidentally just discarded an extra Juniper. He thought he had 2 in his hand.
Yeah,
or he thought he had one already.
His random receiver.
Yeah, but no problem.
Now I think I just saw an energy switch from a benched Pokemon onto the active Keldeo, which doesn't make much sense to me, considering that this Keldeo will not be able to retreat. I would have liked to see a computer search and then an energy switch onto the new Keldeo.
Well, it doesn't. You can double rush in and then retreat.
They have 2 abilities.
Yeah, you can use both. Don't worry. He knows what he's doing.
I'm bad at this game. What can I say?
Yeah. He's just gonna. He can rush in with one Keldeo, and then he can rush in with the one that's asleep right now, and then he can just retreat.
Yeah, you actually, you absolutely are right, and I'm falling asleep at the wheel, all right?
It's all good. It's been a long day.
It has been.
It's been a long
truly
weekend.
has been, but it's been an amazing day.
Yep.
And it's been a day where we saw, a lot of awesome things happen, including, once again, Jason Klaczynski becoming crowned.
Yeah. All right, so here we have a bicycle. Jay is digging for an N here. Can he get one? And no, he
Still no N.
Can't seem to find one. He's really trying to disrupt Josh's hand because he knows he can't let him hold that many cards.
Any Pokemon catcher just wins him the game now.
A catcher and a laser wins the game.
A catcher and a laser, yeah. Well, actually, any catcher.
On that Keldeo. There's 150 on the Keldeo, so it's got 20 HP left.
Oh, you mean, a catcher and a laser without actually attacking.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
He just needs to do 20 damage. The Mr. Mime is blocking the bench damage from Night Spear, but any 20 damage, we could see Sableye with the Dark Claw win the game.
Josh is looking through his hand. He's actually got the Pokemon catcher
There's
already.
The catcher.
All he needs is either a laser. That's the laser. There it is. That's game. Jay Hornung is eliminated.
Wow.
And Josh Wittenkeller, JWittz himself,
has
gone on to the top 4 of the Top Cut Invitational.
Who would have expected this? We got a field full of world champions. Well, a 3-time world champion. We have world champions, national champions, and then we have JWittz, who is really known for being just kind of a personality more than anything. But I think he proved here he knows how to play. He's made it to the top 4.
But I do feel like, you know what, if anybody expected for Josh to do this well, it was Josh himself.
Yeah.
I've been speaking to Josh all day, obviously, as my co-commentator throughout the day, and the guy's been prepared. The guy's been preparing for this tournament, and he didn't take it lightly, and it shows. He's beaten 2 of the best players in the world.
I don't know, Jason Klaczynski and Jay Hornung. That's not an easy path to go through.
So congratulations to Josh Wittenkeller, JWittz. And I'm excited to see the top 4 now.
Yeah.
So the top 4 is going to be a best 2 out of 3, correct?
We're not sure yet because of time constraints. We may have to move to a 1-game series. We'll figure that out shortly. That will start shortly as well. But, yeah, it'll be Edmund Kuros will face JWittz.
Edmund Kuros versus JWittz, and that means that...
And then it'll be Ryan versus Sammy.
Ryan Sablehouse against Sammy Sekum.
That'll be some awesome games, I think.
Yeah, what kind of storylines really come out of this?
Well, hats off to JWittz, first of all. I got to hand it to him for making it through this field. And Ryan Sablehouse as well. I think he's kind of established himself as one of the best players in the world. After that second place at U.S. Nationals, and he went through Igor, last year's world champion, and Yamato 2-0. So that should be interesting. And also Edmund. We also have 2 Ray Eel decks in the top 4. They both went 2-0 to start. So I'm not sure what kind of stories we got, but we got a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to be coming right back with this top 4. We're not going to make it. We're not going to make you guys wait too long. We're excited to get this show on the road, and we'll be back pretty soon, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we actually get kicked out at midnight, so we're going to keep this rolling.
So we will be back pretty soon. Please stay tuned, guys.
All right. We'll see you in a bit.